Right, hello guys and welcome to episode 1 of my Bannerlord playthrough. As you know, I stream Bannerlord quite a lot. However, this time I'm not going to be streaming it, I'm going to be recording it. And it will then be uploaded onto my channel. So, let's get into it. Right, firstly we're going to go through character cultures and decide which one we want to do. Now, I feel the Nords are very, very good, in my opinion. Very good for across your early game, your mid game, and your late game. They're very good in the early game for money, but also the fact that the ship movement speed very, very handy to getting across the map. But for me, it's quick and easy to make money, which, as we know, money is very handy in the early game. However, the later on you get, you sort of into your mid game. Yeah, your money is still important. However, army cohesion. Now, losing 30% on land, now that is a big blow to the fact that you need constant influence input. You need a hell of a lot to do, and so I feel that realistically, they're solid throughout, but not the top. On to Britannia. So, the 50 less speed penalty, you can't go wrong with. You can't go wrong with being faster at all. And the sight range bonus in forests, again, very, very helpful. If you're a small army and then suddenly out of nowhere, you see a massive force coming at you and you know you can't contend, having that extra awareness just helps. Towns owned by Britannian rulers with 20% of militia. Again, very, very handy in your mid to late game. So in your mid game, you're sort of looking, you've got a couple of thieves, you want to be able to hold those. And so, realistically, I think that they are one of the stronger ones. However, 10% slower build rate, it just stretches out your improvements. And so, again, you're sacrificing building up your town for the defense of your town. So, mid to late, handy. Early game, quite solid. Onto the Crusades. Now, recruiting upgraded mountain troops 10% cheaper. Handy throughout the whole entire of your playthrough. Your early game, your mid game, and your late. When you're there, you're trying to build up your forces. That is handy. That's cheaper. It's quicker. Your mid and your late game, you're sort of, when you've got like 200 troops or so 300 troops and you're there and you need quick rebuild after a long fought battle, very handy to have. 25% production to a horse, mule, cow and sheep in village. Again, very, very handy. More trade, more food supply for you. Can't really go wrong with. However, 20% less tax income from towns. Again, that's where your money maker is. So, again, you're sacrificing quantity and you're getting less money for your mules. Sorry, caravans are 30% cheaper to build. Again, early to mid game, you can't really go wrong with it. You're making money and it's cheaper to do. It's a win-win. 10% less trade penalty. Again, more money. Win-win. No speed penalty in desert. Really handy. However, that's only one area of the map. So you got to think about it in the grander sense of the map structure itself. That is only relevant to one little bit. So, daily wages of troops in the party are increased by 5%. Again, just as you're building up your force, you don't want a massive bill every single day, because then you're going to be struggling. That's the reason why I say they're kind of mid. Empire, 20% less garrison troop rage. Again, can't go wrong with it. The garrisons do end up sort of, as they build up, again being a massive sort of dull on your accounts. So again, it's handy. Being in an army brings 25% more influence. handy throughout. You can't go wrong with that. Village hearths increase 20% less. So again, kind of alright, because you know that your villages aren't going to be worth as much. However, raiding wise, it's not a big damage. Sturgier villages grain production is increased by 10%. Good trade, good money, good food supply. Handy. Armies are gathered with 50% less influence. Crucial. So in your mid to late game, that so much nicer. So you're not then micromanaging your influence. And 20% more relationship penalty from kingdom decisions. So again, you're sacrificing your influence with your fellow lords and ladies for a cheaper army, basically. And Valandia, in my opinion, one of, if not the strongest culture to start with. 5% more renown from battles, great all the way throughout up to tier 6. 50% more income while serving as a mercenary, very handy. 10% production bonus to villages, very handy. Recruiting lords to armies costs 20% more, so that's 20% on your first bit. However, after that it's alright. So I feel like Valandia is probably the S tier when it comes to it. But where do we go? I feel like, see, Sturgeon and Nords are my favourite. Britannia was my first playthrough. However, I feel like we are going to go for Valandia. Okay. And we're just going to do some randomising. Yeah. That's alright. Victory! Yeah, that'll do. Make him quite tall. Bit bulkier. Boom. There we go. So, what we are going to go for is Crystal Fishermen, Dockers, Mercenaries, Hunters. See, Hunters is quite good because you get like crossbow, but you get the control and then cunning. However, I want to go for urban merchants. Intelligence goes up, and we get the charm and trade. So yeah, we're gonna go for leadership, I think. It's always handy to have. Yeah, we're gonna go for leadership. What's the militia training? Out guns? No. No. That's engineering, steward and riding. Always handy to have. So I'm gonna go for that. As a baron's groom, social and tactics. No, not really handy. Yeah. So I feel like we are actually I think we'll get the tactics and charm up. Right, you treated people well. +5 renown. No. Survived a siege. You invested some money into a workshop. Trade and leadership. Defeat an enemy in battle. Gets us a one-handed, which is crucial for the early game, I find. Subdued a raider. Drove them all. Okay, this gets us some points in scouting. Charm and leadership. Okay, I think we're going to go for you rode off on a fast horse just so we get 1 point in scouting. There we go. So we are going to be... Posty or Patty? There we go. Yep. Bannerlord. Yep. Realistic. Yep. Auto allocate. Lovely.
Brother, it's been 3 days now we've been tracking. This looks like an old training field for the league. Are you sure about that? This looks like
no.
Are you sure? Alright, one of us...
I'm quite happy not doing a tutorial. Yes. A few hours after you leave the training ground, you come across a wounded man lying under a tree. He says he too was attacked by bandits. You share your water with him and try to dress his wounds as best as you can. He tells you he is a travelling doctor. To thank you for your help, he hands you a small bronze artifact, which he says was once given to him in payment by a warrior, who said only that it was related to Nezart's folly. He suspects it might be of great value. You resolve to find out more. The doctor gives you one more bit of information. He overheard the bandits talking about captives they had seized on their raids. They planned to part ways, with one group taking their prisoners to the south, and the other planning to head northwest to sell them to pirates at the port of Ostitian. You may be able to help your brother by searching there for your siblings. And we found the first piece of the dragon banner. So, what should be our family name? I think, yeah, you know what, we will. Poshyard. It's kind of a Scandinavian type flick to it. Postyard. And our banner. What banner should we have? I think I think we're gonna go for one like this. That's quite cool. Make it big. Black, and then the white. There we go. Oh, I'm not doing a stealth tutorial. Take me to Ostitian now. Go to the port. Hey old man, we want a word.
Listen, you lot, I'm in a bit of a hurry. If I give you a penny each, will you stop pestering me,
God, I love cinematics.
Aren't ye? We got a message from the Sea Hounds for you.
You've got a message from those curs. Out with it then. What's your message?
The message? The message is that you will die, you damn fool.
Ooh.
And how should I die then? Of old age? While you three work up the courage to attack a wizened greybeard? Go on. You've delivered your message. Now scamper off.
We'll send you down to the Pale One's hungry halls. Right now. Kill him, boys!
Alright, let's go save him. Get our shield. There we go.
By my blood! Damn that. I am Gunnar of Lagshoven, from the Nordvig lands. I've come to this port seeking warriors and a ship. These men we fought were allies of a pirate gang who called themselves the Sea Hounds.
All the Sea
They have
Hounds.
been raiding and slaving along the Nordvig's shores, and I intend to go to war with them. The Sea Hounds and I have history, and nowadays they hate my guts as fiercely as I hate theirs. Somebody must have sent word of my whereabouts to their local friends, as these lowlifes had a mind to do me in. Again, you have my thanks for evening the odds.
Did you say slave raids? My brother and sister were taken in one.
I know what it's like to lose family to slavers. If you're still searching, look to the Sea Hounds. They've got their hands in most of the slaving that happens along these coasts.
Who are these Sea Hounds?
It's hard to believe now, but they were once my brothers in arms. Years ago we fought side by side in the last great rebellion in the north. Most of the clans and many free men like myself refused to bow to Volbjörn the Usurper, as he was then called. But Volbjörn knew how to speak to men's desires. He won over the bigger clans with promises of land and silver. And when summer came and he brought a fleet to give us battle, he had with him so many longships that their sails covered the horizon. We still fought them, of course, but their numbers were too many to beat.
Why do you risk so much to hunt them?
They dishonor what we fought for. I'm no stranger to battle. I'll kill when I must, but they murder for pleasure, thinking the All-Father rewards bloodthirst. He wants warriors, not hounds.
What are you doing now?
I mean to gather up some of my kin and friends to go against the Sea Hounds. Just a few days ago I ran into an old comrade of mine here in Ostikan. He is called Purig, and he happens to own a fast ship. He promised to help me capture a Sea Hound ship and put together a crew. So I'm going to make you a proposal. Perhaps you'd like to come with us. I can't guarantee we'll find your kin, but I can promise a good fight. And if we win, a bit of fine loot.
I'll take the loot.
And, well, if you'd ever had an interest in learning how to handle a ship, you won't find any better school than these northern seas.
I will join you, and we can hunt together.
You can find Purig in the tavern and introduce yourself. I should go get myself cleaned up and get ready to travel.
Right, let's go to the tavern. Visit the tavern. There is Purig. Yep, you definitely look like a Purig.
Aye? So, who are you then?
I am PostyPatty. Gunnar sent me. We were in a fight.
A fight, you say? Gunnar and you won, huh? He's alive?
We won, and now I wish to join you against our common enemy.
Well, good for you two. Gunnar is a tough old goat and rather hard to kill. I shall have to ask him about it when I get the chance. So, yes, I agreed to help him in his little feud with the Sea Hounds. For old time's sake, I've got my ship and men ready to sail. If you're indeed of a mind to go with us, I'm happy to take you. But I've only got room for you. So if you've got any traveling companions, you'll need to leave them in this port. I'm sure you'll be back soon to rejoin them, safe and sound.
Very well, I'll make ready to sail.
Come down to the ship with me then. Wind and tide are with us, and I won't tarry long.
My brothers, I hope this letter finds you well. I told you that I might soon ask you to join me in Ostikan. That time has now come. Let me tell you what has befallen me since we last parted. I have been trying to gather warriors here to help us fight the Sea Hounds. I was lucky to find one very capable and brave soul who came to my help when they ambushed me in an alley. This warrior has a sister who was enslaved along this coast and agreed to join me in my hunt. In in the hope of learning more about her whereabouts. I had planned to sail out of Ostikan with our old comrade, Purig. I considered myself very fortunate to have found him. Here was a warrior with a ship who shared my hatred of the Sea Hounds, ready to sail with me. But I had misjudged him. He was instead the lowest form of traitor, a man whose feigned camaraderie concealed a contempt for all that we value. The first night on the open sea, we were woken up by Purig's men holding knives to our throats. Purig had struck a deal with the Sea Hounds, and he intended to hand me over to them to be tortured and killed. He was always ambitious, and seemed eager to win favor with what he imagined to be a new power in the north. "I am sorry, old friend," he said, "but the Sea Hounds are strong and rich, and I think you always wanted to die spitting defiance at your foes." This was the last he spoke to me. His men chained us to the oars. The sea was calm, and the weather hot. They made us row hard, and we suffered greatly as we cruised the coast looking for merchantmen. Presumably Purig wished to appear before the Sea Hounds with a prize or two in his hands to make more of an impression. In this way, his plan was undone.
This cinematic is just incredible.
On the third day, we came across a stubby trading Knar and gave chase. As we closed, the Knar's crew first started to dump their cargo and then their own selves, as the pirates were shooting them with their bows. Eventually, we caught the Knar. Purig sent us as oar slaves to his prize, alongside some crew who hadn't jumped, with some pirates to guard us as he gathered up all the floating cargo. That was a mistake. His men found some casks of wine aboard the Knar and failed to chain us properly. Purig's Nekia by then was some distance away, and we realized that if we wanted to end our miserable ordeal, we'd never get a better opportunity.
Oh, and here's that opportunity.
"Your chain is loose. It's now or never. Get up and strike them down."
Yeah, so got the one there, two there. Let's free ourselves. No, come on. Ah, God, they attack quick, and I attack slow. There we go.
Well done.
Wow, that was close.
Help us get these chains off, huh?
Alright, let's free them all. There we go.
Well done. That's twice now you've gotten me out of a bad spot.
Well, normally I'd say, we put as much distance between us and Purig as quickly as we can. But those merchants are still out there floundering in the waves. We can't leave them there. I can get the sail up. Take the steering oar. Let's see if we can get them out the water. Yes, Gar. No, I don't need a tutorial, thank you. Alright, let's go get them. Yep.
Right. Now, let's slow down so they can climb aboard.
Come on, men. Are you joining or what? Thank you.
There's two more of them over there. Let's go fish them out.
Is it? Which one's the port and which one's the
Poor
starboard?
lads thrashing in the water over there.
I don't know. It's hard to port, right? If I go that way, is that port? And that starboard? Someone tell me in the comments, because I truly do not know.
Right. Now, let's slow down so they can climb aboard.
Slow down, how about a dead stop? There we go. Thank you. Oh, he is talking.
Christ. We thought we'd escape the arrows, only to be drowned by the waves. Heaven protect us all.
Think nothing of it, lads. You've done the same for us, one sailor for another. So look, lads. Purig is still around, but I suspect he's overladen and undermanned. I doubt he can find us before nightfall, which is good because I don't think we can outfight him. By my reckoning, we're still not far from Ostikon. So, row, my boys, for Ostikon and safety.
Right, let's go.
Let's row into harbor and tie her up.
There we go. Speedy. Speedy ship. All sorts of goner in the port.
Well, I sent off my letter, and I spoke to some men from my homeland who have just arrived. They are sick of sea hound raids and ready to join us in our hunt. I'm afraid we cannot take your own companions, however. There's not enough room on the ship, and my men aren't willing to trust their lives to any other vessel in these northern seas. I recommend you make ready to sail again soon, but we have a bit of time.
Alright. Why did Purig turn on you?
I do not know for sure. If I had ever knowingly given him insult, I never would have sailed on his ship. A true warrior to my mind knows his own mettle. He does not need others to remind him of his honor. He knows that sometimes in war you suffer bad luck. Your ship arrived late. You were carried away in the rush of a rout. You were defeated by a king with forces far greater than your own. Other men, on the other hand, crave glory. They must hear the cheers of townsfolk and wear gilded armor given to them by kings. They must be envied by other men, and if they aren't, they may hear a little voice in their head telling them that they can steal this glory, that they can slay the weak and take their wealth and buy the respect that they crave. That voice spoke to Purig. He gave into it, and it twisted his heart into something truly dark. He is a husk of a man filled only with ambition and wounded pride, all concealed beneath a fair face and a friendly laugh. I recommend you make ready to sail again soon.
Okay.
But we have a bit of time. The ones with us now are farmers from the island of Bannerlord, near my village at Laxhofen. They are good men and well motivated. That coast has suffered greatly at the hands of the Sea Hounds, but they are not warriors who live for battle.
So we haven't got warriors, we've got farmers.
The letter, though, was addressed to one of my very old friends, Bjolgur of Agelting. When he left the rebellion, he chose neither peace nor banditry. He chose instead to join the Skolderbruda, the Shield Brothers. Rather than fight for a king, he said he would fight for whoever pays him. A king may turn out to be unworthy of his warrior's valor, but gold is never unworthy.
Man's not wrong.
I do not pretend that I see eye to eye with Bjolgur on all things, but he, like me, prefers to match his skill against other warriors, and he has kin in Bannerlord. He will not come immediately, as he must take permission from his brotherhood. But when he does come, we will be very glad of his help. I recommend you make ready to sail again soon, but we have a bit of time.
Can you tell me more about your past with the Sea Hounds?
I suppose I have time for an old war story or two.
This guy is truly
to hear.
your bog standard old person.
As I told you, we fought together against old King Volbjorn. Many of us were from Bannerlord and other parts of the Nordvig, where even the Jarls tread lightly. A man who called himself our king. Well, we weren't having any of that. We didn't call ourselves the Sea Hounds back then, but we flew the Dog's Head banner to show our loyalty to each other and to our cause. We fought, but we lost in a great battle in Valvik Bay. I and 100 other captives were led before Volbjörn, and the king ordered his men to take our heads. A dozen or so were killed before me, so I had time to think up something to say. As they held me down to receive the blow, I told Volbjörn that it was a good thing I'd eaten not long ago, so I could let him know directly from the High Hall what sort of feast they'd prepared for him there. I thought he'd order me cut open or flayed, but instead Volbjörn laughed and told me that he liked my metal. He'd spare my life and the lives of the rest of my comrades, so long as I swore an oath not to take up arms against him again. Volbjörn had made his point with a dozen headless bodies at his feet, and men paying the land tax or serving in his armies were of more value to him than corpses. If I swore, 100 of my comrades could return to their families. So I swore. Some of our number never showed up at the battle, however. I can imagine how it went for them after that. Mocked in taverns or in scraps of songs sung by children. The North is not forgiving of those who throw away their good name. Their old life where they were feared rather than scorned must have seemed much sweeter in comparison. And of course they conceived a great resentment against those of us who faced death and showed them up as cowards. These are the ones who became the Sea Hounds, who aimed to steal the wealth and glory that they failed to win in battle. I recommend you make ready to sail again soon.
This is a long
Have a bit of time.
long bit of dialogue. So that's all I have to ask. What would be our next move?
Well, I do not think we will have to go very far to start our hunt. A pair of ships have been patrolling off our coast, robbing passing fishermen. And I'd wager one of my eyes to a bale of herring that they're sea hounds. They scatter like minnows whenever a real warship sets out, but I think that my men's little vessel will be prey much to their liking.
Hopefully the fight will come to us. Let's sail out. We're gonna go to them.
That ship out there, raising sail to intercept us. That's got to be one of them.
Right, let's fight.
They must think we're just a fishing vessel. All right now, boys. Let's
Right,
show
we got
them
the
that their
wind.
prey has teeth of its own.
Drop the sail.
Get us close so we can board.
Row, men. Row like your lives depend on it.
The lines are holding. At them, lads.
Right, let's get them. Have my sword. Oh no, again. Ow! That hurt. Oh, well, it doesn't help. I don't have the icon on. So I can't tell who's a friendly and who's not. Come on. At least we're getting some one-handed skill. Ship cleared.
That's one sea hound defeated, but the other can't be too far away. We captured a second ship, though. It's a Snekja. It should be quick and nimble. How about you cross over and take the helm?
I'll keep command.
I think
Of
I
the
see
old
them.
one.
Untie our ships and let's have at it. I'll let you decide how to fight this one. Maneuver a bit, or just go straight at them.
Yeah. No need to maneuver. Let's just get in there.
Soldiers!
Alright, let's get in there.
Strike hard, boys! Finish them!
Yep. I was like Spider-Man there, just jumped on. Leaped
my
down.
lord. I'm no pirate. I'm just a farmer who fell on hard times. I signed on with this ship in Varchek a month ago. They told me we'd be trading grain and ivory across the Bialik. I didn't know we'd be attacking honest folk like yourselves. Listen, these sea hounds are trolls and demons, not men. I want no part of this anymore. Spare me, and I promise I'll go back to my old life.
Tell me the truth and I'll let you live.
We purchased some slaves from some bandits in Ostakan. We were planning on selling them onward to another buyer further south along the coast. Perhaps your sister was one of them? Will you spare me?
Are you really a farmer now? Calluses such as those on your hands are made by oars, not plows. And I see a scar on your sword arm that doesn't look like it came from the kick of a mule. Indeed, I might even recall your name. Ralgar Eelnose, is it not?
Oh, he's been caught.
Gunner of Lagshofen. 3 of your old shipmates have we visited Walraven. 1 died well. The others, it's said that your people are mean and stingy hosts. But those 2 gave us some fine entertainment. As for you, friend of Gunner, I told you where to seek your sister. Best rescue her quick, or she may take a liking to one of our brave lads and give you a litter of sea puppies. So there you have it. I fulfilled my end of the bargain. Put me ashore.
Yeah, we're chucking him overboard.
Right, let's get her docked.
Let's go back. There we go. So we're going to leave it there for episode 1, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And keep an eye out for episode 2. Peace out.